Hey everyone, just wanted to say thank you guys so much for 100K on YouTube. It's been insanely, fast for us to hit this milestone in almost like nearly a year. Makes me very happy, and I appreciate each and every one of you that takes time out of your day to watch my videos. To celebrate this, we're gonna do a little Q&A. So let's just get right into it. So me and Mo met through a Discord that we both used to hang out in a lot, but didn't talk to each other in much. We were both mutual friends with the guy who is now both of our thumbnail artists on YouTube. He also does thumbnails for a bunch of other YouTubers, but that's beside the point. His name's Caleb, really funny guy. He's one of my best friends to this day. Me and Caleb used to hang out in Discord all the time. Caleb and Mo used to hang out in Discord all the time. So obviously, it was inevitable that Mo would end up in the Discord at the same time as me. So we ended up just getting along, and that's how it happened. So I was born in Egypt. I was born in Alexandria, but I didn't live there very long. Because of my dad's job, my dad worked with hotels while I was growing up, so we were always moving around. I was born in Egypt. Shortly after we moved, and then after moving, we moved again. So there's like a long list of countries that I've lived in. We've lived in Egypt, in Mauritius, in Cameroon. We've lived in the Middle East, in Qatar. We've lived in Bahrain, and then we moved to Canada in 2012. So my early life in Egypt was very short. However, I would almost yearly, every summer, go back home to Egypt to my family and spend the summers there, at the beach or whatever. I mean, because he's asked so politely, next time I see him, if I ever do, we can make it happen, I guess. So I have Arab parents, especially for you to be out of university and having a stable job in the field that you studied in. It's obviously very hard for you to, come out to your parents and be like, yeah, I'm quitting my job and going full-time streaming. Especially considering that when I quit my job to go full-time, I was a much smaller streamer. So it was a hard decision to make, but on top of that, after making the decision, I had to announce it to my parents, and that was extremely hard. But it was a risk, and like everything that's worth having, it's a gamble. And I told them, what I told them is give me 6 months. At the time, I wasn't making more from streaming than I was from my job, but I told them that within that 6 month period, if it got to a point where I could make more from streaming than I can from my job, then I would, take the leap and go full time. But if in the 6 months I didn't grow to that point, then I would go back to work. They gave me the 6 months. They trusted me with it. I'm still very thankful, for them to this day, and I'm glad it worked out. So to answer your question, I guess, yes, they are extremely supportive and proud of me, and I love them very much, and hopefully I'll be able to pay back, one day. My goodness, that's a tough question. To be honest, I think this is something that, like, a quote that I heard not too long ago. And what it is like, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And I'm not the most religious person or anything like that, so don't take that literally. The takeaway from it, in my opinion, is I don't really have end goal. I don't really want something out of life. I just try to enjoy my life day by day. Whatever happens after streaming is going to happen. I'm not, totally reckless, and like, I'm still trying to have a future, but it's not something that is like set in stone, like a concrete plan that I am trying to follow day by day. It's just like going with the flow type of thing, making sure that with the right habits and with the right work ethic, eventually everything will take care of itself. A lot of traveling, like I mentioned earlier. So growing up, we lived in a ton of different countries with a lot of different languages. Obviously, had friends from everywhere. I speak Arabic with my parents and my grandparents. I also like. I think the key to maintaining a language is practice. I was fortunate enough to do an internship in Egypt 2 years ago that was fully in Arabic. I speak Arabic with my parents and my grandparents every day. I speak French at home, with my sister and with my parents. I was educated in French. I speak English because I live in Canada. I really don't have a choice but to speak English. It's uh, it's just the language here. When it comes to Greek, I'm a little bit out of practice, so my Greek isn't that good right now. But it really just comes down to practicing them every day. And then the more languages you speak, the more you realize that a lot of languages are very similar. So, for example, when it came to studying Spanish in university, I realized that it had a lot of similarities to French, not really in the way that it is spoken, but in the conjugation. There you go. Yeah, the conjugation, the grammar, that kind of stuff. So it really wasn't hard to transition. And yeah, it's just practice at the end of the day. That's it. So we are French-speaking Egyptians. In Egypt, to many people's surprise, you'll find that a lot of people speak French um, as a second language. And so growing up, I went to a French school in Qatar where I lived for 7 years. I did my whole education in a lycée, which is like the equivalent of a fully French school. It wasn't immersion or anything like that. So we learned English like you learn French here in high school. You know what I mean? As like a 1 hour per day type of thing. But everything was in French fully. So French is my maternal language. It's my first language. Growing up, my favorite sport was soccer or football, whatever you call it, depending on where you're from. And my favorite team was Arsenal. And so my favorite team, Arsenal, had just signed a player called Alexis Sanchez, and he was a great player, and I was a huge fan of his. So I decided to mix his name, Sanchez, with Anchovies. It's a really stupid name. Like, I thought it was funny at the time. I was like 14. Yeah, it's not funny, but it kind of had that like ring to it, and I liked it. And I ended up just making that Twitter account called Sanchovies, and I would just tweet a bunch of nonsense, and that's how it started. Yeah. Well, it goes without saying, but after like growing up, obviously I was the new kid a lot, and because of like traveling so much, and so it wasn't common that I spent the first few months or years at a new school with not very many friends, because that's how it kind of is. Like, that's how the culture is in school, is that everyone kind of just like groups up in cliques, and then there's the new kid and nobody really talks to the new kid. Especially coming from a different culture pretty often. So like, for example, I remember my first few days in high school in Canada, coming from an Arabic country. I wasn't familiar with English being my first language. I don't know, it was just a completely different atmosphere and a completely different like feel. And so like there was days where I felt very down. People weren't really like going out of their way to talk to me, type of thing. But after a bit, I would start making friends and being more social. Just moments like that early on. When I would move, also I was a chubby ass kid. I was a pretty big kid. So I would I would definitely hear a lot about it. That's about it, I think. So I graduated from college. I have a university degree. I did 4 years, and it was honestly miserable because I was commuting for the first 2 years of university. I would take the bus for about an hour, and then I take the subway for 30 minutes. and that's one way, and I'd have to do that twice a day, 5 days a week. So that was 3 hours of commuting every single day for 5 days a week, and that really took a toll, especially coming from high school, which was really close to home. There was no commute time; it was a very short bus ride, so that was really difficult for me. Now I don't really use my degree, to be honest. Do I regret going to college? No. I think I learned a lot of things that are outside. To be honest, the most things that I learned from college have nothing to do with my degree, and more to do with like work ethic and like having good habits. And I think that's like really been the key to my success on Twitch. And something that I could not really have learned without those miserable ass times in college. So no, I don't really regret it at all. Most embarrassing moment with a girl. I was in high school and there was this girl I had a big crush on, and she liked me too. I knew she liked me because she would tell her friends and her friends would tell me, but I'd never do anything about it because I was a pussy. Um, but one day I was walking down the hallway in gym class. She started walking like next to me, and she like gave me like a bump like that, and she was like, "Hey." And I looked at her and I shat myself, and I just swung over and hit a bunch of lockers, and it was like a thundering roar. It was like a billion lockers being hit by my big ass body at the time, and I pretty much like dented one of the lockers and like fell over. And it was just, oh my god, it was the most embarrassing shit ever. And everybody just stared at me, and she kind of just laughed at me. I don't know if she was laughing with me or at me, but it was really embarrassing. It's like one of those moments where you like just wake up in the middle of the night like 5 years later, and you're just like, what the fuck, like why did I do that? I was so scared, man. I was so scared of her. She was like yeah, no, she was a very nice person, and like she didn't make fun of me for it or anything. So thanks for that. Oh, horrible. Yeah, it was not good. No, I 100% enjoy League. I don't necessarily enjoy the people who play the game, but I love the game. And the thing is with me, if you've ever watched my stream, is that I will never do something that I don't enjoy, even if it's for, whatever, more views or for money. I don't care about any of that stuff. I love League. The people who play it definitely can make it a fucking shit time. If I stopped enjoying League, I wouldn't stream it anymore. That's like 100% how my stream goes. So yeah, no, I still do enjoy it. Well, growing up, I watched soccer or football, but ever since moving to Canada, I fell in love with basketball, and now the only sport I watch is basketball, and I'm a huge fan of the Toronto Raptors. So I have actually started a second channel with everything variety. So whenever I do something that doesn't have to do with League of Legends, it goes on my second YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out. Right now, I feel like there's a bit of like a drought when it comes to games that are good. So I'm mainly streaming League. But anytime there's a certain hype game that comes out and everybody's on it, I'm for sure planning to join up and make some content on that and add it to my second channel. I think, to be honest, you never want to stream with hopes of it ending up being your career, like, or with expectations rather of having it end up being your career. Hopes is very different. But when you stream expecting your numbers to blow up, then you end up being met with like this reality that it doesn't always happen, even though you might deserve it. The truth is, growing on Twitch is extremely difficult, and the hardest part about growing on Twitch is when you're a small streamer. It's like a snowball effect type of thing, where the smaller you are, the harder it is to get somebody to click on your stream and stick around. Because if you think about it, there's the chat experience, there's like so many different things that you miss out when you click on a smaller streamer's channel. other than the fact that it is extremely hard to find a new smaller streamer and end up clicking on their channel. Uh, so my advice to you is to just stream and have fun. Try to get a bunch of your friends in the chat. That's how I started off. Just streaming Fortnite for a bunch of my friends, having fun, interacting with them, and whatever happens, happens. And at the end of the day, if you don't end up making it a career, at least you had fun. And if you do make it a career, then it's a win-win situation. But the sad truth is, not everyone is the next Ninja. Not everyone is the next, Tyler One. But as long as you're having fun, it doesn't really matter. So just be yourself, have fun, and whatever happens, happens. So I am not Muslim. My family is Christian, but I grew up in countries that were mainly Muslim, and I grew up, completely like immersed in Islam. And most of my friends growing up were Muslim, and I would go over to their house, and I would fast with them during Ramadan, and I would like eat with them, and it's like it really is a beautiful religion. Personally, I'm not Muslim, but I absolutely love the religion, and some of my best memories are just growing up, like I said, with those friends and like in those Muslim countries. I am not a very religious person though, and I love everyone and respect everyone equally, type of thing. It's not it's not a big deal to me. Pinoy is really talented. Like, I think he completely changed the game when it comes to like breaking that barrier between like editor and creator, where it felt like people would watch Mo's channel for not only Mo. Like, you would watch Mo's channel for Pinoy and Mo, and I really think that's like super inspiring and really amazing. He's really successful, and he deserves every little bit of that. And he's also a really good friend. And I remember asking him for advice when I started my YouTube channel, and he was nice enough to actually take the time to answer all my questions and help me out with starting. So he's a great guy. I love Pinoy.
Thanks, cutie.
I have 2 tattoos for now. Planning on getting more in Korea, hopefully. But it's extremely addicting, and I'm like very happy with them. Yeah. Favorite thing is it's very skill expressive, and it's a team game. Least favorite thing is that it's a team game. Fucking sucks sometimes. I have 1 dog. Just champs that fit my playstyle, and just watching streamers that I enjoyed and picking up their champs. I remember when I first started learning Aurelia, I would watch a lot of TF Blade, and I learned playing her through watching him so much, and he was super good at it. And I was like, yeah, I gotta learn this champ. Like, this looks like a lot of fun. It's been 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. It was nice. I met her in Spanish class, actually. She was very handsome, and it went well. It went really well. But unfortunately, we had to go different ways. I like Stricken. I think that's like, the classic RuneScape Disturbed song. Yeah, it's a banger. Hey, my fingers are not that long, man. I just get bullied all day because of my fingers. It's the worst shit ever. Ooh. My favorite of all time is Gengar, but if I had to name a few, I really like Gengar, I really like Gyarados, I really like Espeon, Alakazam, and Darkrai. Those are my favorites. I'm 6 foot, 6 foot tall. Ladies, hit me up. 6 foot tall, not 5'11". I'm really not a picky eater. I love all kinds of foods, but my favorite is sushi. I go crazy for sushi. I could eat it every single day for the rest of my life and not get tired of it. And my favorite kind of sushi is barbecue eel. It's the best. It's goated. Why is everyone asking me if I'm gay? Fuck, I don't even know. I probably keep doing what I'm doing right now. Don't have one. I'm not into fashion. Monkey good. To be honest, I lost count. It's a lot. My favorite one though would probably have to be. I don't even know. I don't even have a. It'd probably be Greece, to be honest. Do you agree that poop time is also pee time, but pee time isn't always poop time? Yeah, that's true. When you really think about it, it's true. Korea, hopefully. I mean, we're trying to get the vaccine and we'll be on our way as soon as we can. Yeah, I'm fluent. I speak Arabic every day with my grandparents, a little bit with my parents, but not really. Lived in Egypt, spent a lot of time there over the years. So yeah, I am fluent. I can read and write and everything. I like cooking. I like to work out. I like going out. Right now is like, not an ideal time. It's winter, plus we're in the middle of a pandemic, so it's a little hard to go out. But usually, in the summer, I'm always outside, and whenever I'm not, I'm streaming. I watched a lot of Mo. I watched TF Blade, and I was actually big into RuneScape, so I used to watch a lot of Bodhi. And to this day, I think Bodhi is one of my favorite streamers of all time, and the best to ever do it. He's the goat. Shake Shack. Shake Shack is insane. In and Out is not good. It's not. It's really not. It's pretty. It's like got that Instagram, nice symmetrical bun with the lettuce. In and Out is that girl that looks really good on Instagram but doesn't look that good in real life. Shake Shack looks good on Instagram and in real life. Shake Shack is amazing. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm very introverted. I'm not like outgoing at all. The reason why it is so easy for me to be comfortable on stream is because at the end of the day, I'm really on my own. I'm just talking to a camera type of thing. But when I first started streaming, I used to get very nervous. And I actually remember Mo hosting me for a large amount of people compared to what I usually had at the time. And I panicked. I was super nervous. My face got all red. I was like stuttering. I couldn't play properly. I'm like I'm a very shy person. A lot of people like just wouldn't expect that. But yeah. It's definitely helped me when it comes to perspective and like reinvestment. For example, in the first few months of my growth on Twitch, I took a lot or most of the money that I made on Twitch and put it back into YouTube, and saw it as like an investment, whereas others who may not have had the same like experience and like knowledge might not have done the same thing. But I was pretty much, for the first few months of my growth, not making any money, to be honest, and just putting it all back into my stream. I think it was well worth it, to be honest. The thing is, if League is all you've got, bad days are going to be miserable. Because sometimes you're going to lose games and it's not going to be your fault. You can lose 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row, and it feels really miserable. So you always got to make sure you have something else. For me personally, I love cooking. I love spending time with my family. I love going on walks. I love working out. So those are the things that I look for when I'm, having a miserable ass day on League. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been offered by many, many orgs. I won't say which ones, but I have received offers and I've said no to all of them. Like I said, I'm not really the type of guy to I'm not very outgoing. I don't like doing content with people that I'm not really comfortable with. So that's the main thing that's holding me back. However, if an org is willing to give me a cooking show, then expect me to sign with them. And that's something that I've wanted for the longest time, and hopefully we can make that happen in the next couple of years. I started young, bro. I had the PS1. I had the OG Game Boy Color. I had the Game Boy, what's it called? The big fucking brick. It was it was my dad's, and he gave it to me. So I started super, super young. My favorite game was Pokemon, and I haven't missed a single Pokemon game since Pokemon Blue. That was my first one. Ever since I've been playing every single Pokemon that's come out since. So I started really young. I had a really strong support system and a lot of friends who were already established that believed in me and told me that if I just put in the hours that everything would take care of itself. Did I have backup plans? I did. I have a degree. I was always hoping that I would never have to use it though. And yeah, I'm just very lucky that it worked out. You ever feel like you don't deserve your LP since you play good champs? No. I think that's just an excuse that people who play bad champs, try to project onto others. But if you play a bad champ, then you are willingly playing a bad champ and putting yourself at a disadvantage. That's just the way that I see it. Favorite meal to cook? I like steak. I think steak, it takes some serious skill, I like my steak medium rare. So it takes the right judgment, knowing when to flip it, do a little basting with the butter and the thyme and the pepper and everything. So I definitely like to cook steak. I think that's my favorite meal to cook. Oh my god, that's a deep one. What the fuck? Man, honestly, life is very short. So don't spend your life doing something that you don't want to do, or even working toward something that isn't your, most wanted end goal. Just, try to have fun every single day and do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, you never know when it's going to be your last day. And just, do what makes you happy. That's it. All right, guys. Well, that'll wrap it up for now. Thank you guys so much again for supporting me. It means the world to me. I get to do what I love every single day, and I'm super grateful for it. If you guys liked this video, be sure to subscribe, like it, and if the feedback is positive enough, we can do another one of these at about 250K subscribers. We'll do another Q&A. So thanks again, guys. Take care.